Hi and welcome to my introduction to the compositing nodes in Cycles Blender. And this is, as I said, just an introduction, so I will go through the basic very briefly so you know what the compositing can do, and then I will have new and other sessions that will go into the depth of each thing that we can manage in the compositing. But this is just an overview. And we could go right into it. So you start with changing 3D view to a node editor. And the node editor normally has the shader, but we are going to use the compositing. So we are selecting the second one here. And then you have three options: use nodes, backdrop, and auto render. And before I go through them, we will start creating another windows as well, where we select UV image editor. Okay, use nodes, normal as in shader. When you check it, it gets two default nodes here. And when it comes to compositing, it's about the render layers, and you have the composite. The render layer is the input, and the composite is the output. And then you can, of course, put a lot of nodes between them. Then when thinking about the compositing, it's like you have done your 3D Blender object, you think you are finished and everything is fine. Then comes the compositing. You need to do some color adjustments, you need to perhaps add two images to merge them together, create one image of them, add some glare or whatever. In that case, you should use the compositing. And the compositing also good for things like the camera tracking, doing visual effects and so on. Today we're going to add three images and then merge them together using different methods. But use nodes, as we have checked here, will add the default. Next thing we can use is backdrop if we want that. And backdrop is to get the final image behind the node so we can see them. And auto render, we do not need that this session, and that is if you do something in 3D and you do a change on that one and want that to render again, instead of going up here and select render, you can just press auto render and it will take in every change that you do automatically without your need to go to render. Okay, the setup will be, as I said, three images, and I have written the links for those on the text below this video, so you can just click on them. These are my own image that I did a few years ago, and I have not used the compositing on that at all before this session, but that one you should download. And then we have Pexels. Pexels is a great place where you can get a lot of free images that you can use in several occasions without any license problems at all. So that's a good site. We will have a Meadow for that one. And finally, I also found a good image to use as a background. And all these free images are free to use and can use them as you want to without any problems. Okay, so download these and then we can start. Going back to Blender, as I said, this is the render layers, and the render layers is connected to the 3D object that you're doing. And it says render layers with an S because that you can have several layers when you do the rendering and separate those in the render part and then merge them together in the compositing. But today we're just going to use the image, so we can delete that one and select Shift A and input and select an image. And if I select that image and connect it to the composite and I do a render, you can see it's still black because we have not opened anything, but we select open and I select my images in here and you select your images, and I start with my bulb. And now you can see that I have the result here, the bulbs, and I have the image input here and the output here. Okay. What I now can do is, of course, add another image, which I will do. So I will have an input, an image, and in this one I will put the Meadow. So compositing in my case, Meadow, and then I have that one here, and if I select that instead, you will get the Meadow here. If you look at the result, you can see that something is a little bit strange here, because here you have this part of the flower and you'd miss it here and so on, and that is because of this image size. It's much bigger than the render size, and it just crops everything away that you that is outside that range. So to use this image, we need to adapt the scale for that image to be as the resulting image. So then we can select Shift A and distort, and in distort you find scale. So we put the scale in here and change it to render size, and as soon as you change it to render size, you get the complete image here. Then you can select if you want to stretch the image, or you want to fit it in, or crop the image. So it's a little bit up to what type of image you're using, if it's how wide it is and so on. So you find what you like to have in the parameters here. So just put distortion and scale, and you have that image. Okay. As you could see of the result in the beginning of this session, I will try to put this Meadow behind the bulbs, and it will show through the bulbs. So we will see how we can do that. So we connect the image again, and now you can see the image here, and what we now should do is take and try to take away the white in this. And one thing that the compositing can do is key things away from an image. You have a keying, and a key have different settings for let's say color, or for difference between image, or for something else. You just need something to look on, that you can see. If you can see a pattern or a color that you can take away, then the keying will do that. So if you take the keying here and put the image into the key color, or a pick on an image and put that to the image here, you could see that the bulbs here will now be alpha here. You will lose all the color. So you could, if you want to, then just add that image into this as well, and that you will do using Shift A, color, and alpha over. Alpha over will put one picture above the other picture, and if I now connect this as the picture in the bottom, and I take the other one here at the top and press convert pre-multiply, then we have the Meadow behind the bulbs here. Then we of course need to do something to make it look a little bit nicer. I can make this be a little bit bigger like this. Okay. You can see it's very hard edge here, and it's not nice at all. So what can we do? We have a lot of parameters in keying, as you can see. Pre-blur, it's before doing the keying, we blur the image. Then we have also post-blur, that is that we will blur the image after. We also have clipping depending on colors, and we have dilute, erode, which is smoothing of the edges in that amount that we put in here. And as you can see, it will change when I change things here, and you can see it gets smoother on the edges. By selecting post blur like this, we could also get, as you can see, all that white to go away a little bit, since it's blurred away like this. So you can play with these things, and that part, making that alpha, was because of the key color here. So we used the key color white, and those were very white. So if I had another color here, like I don't know, like this dark one, then you could see that instead of all the white, then the dark colors got the alpha instead, got the transparency. But in our case, we should use the white, so we take this little thing here and select the white, and we are back to this image instead. So it's not that hard to put in something in the bulbs using the compositor. Then we also had some effects. It was a glowing kind of thing around this, and that we can do in several steps. So one of those is to add some type of filter, and in our case we will use the sunbeam, and we will combine the sunbeam with the result that we have here. So I just put in the sunbeam from the original image first of all, and I can change the ray length, and if I disconnect this one and put in that one, you can see a little bit how it looks. You will see that now you got these rays going out from each light source, and the center is where you have placed the center from where it's spread is in it's in these parameters. So you have the width here, so if you move that, you will see that it will change. So now the center is a little bit more to the right, and then you have the height here. I think we could keep it on the center here. It will be good. And now we should connect that image with that image that we got here. So then we just go into Shift A again and select color and a mix of that. And if we take it like this, then we have mixed it together, but now it's one here, so we have to take that one down. So let's say that we take it to 0.5 or something like that. Then you can see, now you see both the bulbs and this shining thing, and you can see that you perhaps have to go a little bit lower than that. So just try again like this, and finally you think that okay, this value is good, and then you stop, of course. So something like this. And then we also could change perhaps the strength of the colors, the balance of the colors, and so on. And then you just put a color balance in. So just Shift A again and color again, and then you have the color balance, and that normally you put in last in the compositing. And here could then change the colors to get darker or get brighter, but also to gain some brightness, or yeah, you see the values here. You can change the gamma, you can change the gain, you can change the lift, and so on. And now you get a little bit clear picture here. You can go up with the lift of colors and so on. So it's a lot of changing, but of course not just darkness, and so you can also change if you want to have some different colors in there. So now you have more yellow, since I changed the yellow color here. It could also be that I will go even lower on that one to get it out. And if I want to have some extra glare before yeah, for this image, then I can put it in as well. So just filter, glare, and I can decide where I want it. I can say that I want it here, and then change the threshold. If it's 1, nothing will change, but if it's 0, you will see that it will be a quite different light on these. So you can, as normal, change the value to something that you think it's okay, and then you can decide what type of glare you would like to have. So you can change it to ghost or to, yeah, whatever, and that is just to try and see what you like. In this case, you can see it's getting a nice type of effect. It's like almost like a fog is around these bulbs, and yeah, you can just play with the values as you want to. Then, as I said, I also would like to have, I can change that one to fog glow, some type of, we said 3 images, some type of background where we have the ocean. So how should we do that? We used keying before to get the transparency or the alpha, but another way to do it is use mask. So we can mask away things here as well, and we will try that. So if you go to this image and change the render image to the bulbs, then we have the original image here, and we change view to mask. Then we can work and create the mask over the image, and then we just select new to get a name for the mask, and we can just select it like, I don't know, sky, sky. And now we should build it, and to build the sky you just press Control and the mouse click, and then you can just create a very easy, and we can say we can have it in that height, something like this. And if you want to connect that point with the first point, then you just hold on Alt and C, and now you have a mask. To change this, you can just click on the line and with Control, and you get a new something here. Now I have 3 of these, and then you can just move them around so we can get something and can put them out. When you are doing a mask, you can always try to put the points a little bit outside of the object that you would like to mask. So I will drag them out just a little bit here, and I will add another point here. Just hold Control down and the mouse, so then you get another point where you would like to have it, something like this. And here I need 1 point here, I believe here, and perhaps a few points here as well to be able to change things. So I can go like this. When you press point and then press V like this, then you get different types of modifications that you can use. So if I use like this, align single, I get this handle here, and then I can take that handle and I can drag it up and down and move it a little bit to get a soft corner. And I can take another type here if I want to. So they are not connected in any way. So that makes that in this way you can make it very, very good. I will not do all of these things because it will take some time, but you will see now I have some type of mask here anyway that is called sky. And I can now go back to view. It is still saved even if you can't see it, and we can put it in here if we want to. So I can now Shift A input an image up here somewhere, and in that image I will put that ocean picture that we had. So compositing, and I think I will do like this, and then we have this one, and now I have this ocean here, and I would try to put that ocean into my image, of course. So I then take another mix here, so color, mix, put them together, and I can do like this so you can see the render result when I'm working like this. Okay, and then of course we need the other image as well. And now you can see it's going above each other, and we do not like that. So then we can take another input, and this time you can use mask. And in this little face here, you can select what type of mask you want, because now we created one, but you can have as many as you want to. And then you put that mask into the factor to decide where you would like to mask the picture and where it doesn't want to. So now you can see now the bulbs are masked away, and if it's getting like that, then it's just to invert these, and you will then get the other way around, of course. So now you can see, as I said before, I didn't do it so very, very carefully, but you can see now how it's done here. It looks like it's cut out and doesn't look so smooth and so on. So how to change that? Well, that you can do by putting in a feather in here. So Shift A, and in the let's see, in the filter you have dilate erode. So select that one and put it in here and select feather. And if I take that up like this, you will see now that it will shrink around everything and make a very, very nice round thing here. But it is blurry, and if I can go a little bit less, then will be less blurry, of course. And that is a little bit how good you have been with the mask. Now, if you have done something wrong, it's not that hard to change the mask again, because all you have to do is go back to the view again and select mask again. And as you can see, I had some really bad issues here, so then I just changed that, and as soon as I change it, it will be affected on here, so it will, you can always see how it will look here. So then you can fine-tune it as much as you want until you are satisfied with this mask. So go back to view again, and you can get this, as I said, a really good result. But you have to work a little bit with your image to make it as good as you want to. The distance could go both ways. Now we go up and it cuts nearer these bulbs. You can also have a negative number, and then it will go the other way around. So then it will take from go out instead of going into these bulbs. So that is a little bit how that works. The only thing I will show you more this time is how to check the image before it reaches the end, because you have something here that is output viewer, and you can have as many viewers as you want to. And if you connect that viewer to something, like I connect it to the image here or whatever, then I get the backdrop here to work. And now when I look at my backdrop, I can see everything from where I connect this viewer. And now I have it on the ocean. I can add another one. So shift input, sorry, output, output viewer. And I connect that to, let's see, why not here, like that. And then the backdrop will be from this viewer. And if I now select that viewer, I will be back here. So it's very easy if I want to work with a complicated node to have a lot of viewers and then select whatever view I would like to see for the moment. And to change the size of the backdrop, it's very easy. Just press V to go back and then Alt V to zoom in. And that is the basic. And I will, as I said, go through everything that is to know about the compositing, also how you do all the effects, camera tracking and everything, but that will take in later sessions. Small steps just so you learn, and I hope you learned something this time as well. And if you think it's interesting and would like to see more, then just subscribe and have a nice day. Bye.